Greetings and salutations, fellow humanoids and/or aliens, because I don't know who watches these videos. A hashtag's been going around Twitter called #disabled people are hot. And I agree. They're hot because they refuse to conform. We refuse to conform. I've lived my whole life afraid of what other people think up until the point when I turned 16. At that point, I just completely gave up on the concept of normality. I've always hated being called normal, but when I was 16, I started dressing vintage, and people still stare at me because I look like I'm 12 years old. And then I open my mouth, and they wonder how they're being talked down to by a 12-year-old. Hello, not 12, I'm almost 21, thank you. But I think it's because people with disabilities refuse to conform. Most people have played Tetris at least once in their life, so hopefully you know how it works. You match the pieces together, and when you make a full line match, it disappears. A conformist is defined as someone who only accepts the socially acceptable, whether that is goal or strategies of how to achieve the goals. People find that they have to conform in society to an appropriate behavior, dress, actions. When someone doesn't fit in with everyone else, they're deemed weird. Why? It's automatically assumed that they just forfeited the game of life. This applies a lot to me because I'm in a wheelchair most of the time, and I also take pride in how I dress. Usually my hair is bright purple and green, and people don't know how to take me, whether it's the fact that I look like I'm 12 or the fact that there's a wheelchair standing in the way. But people think just because I'm in a chair that I have to act a certain way. Most of the time they don't want to believe that I can four-wheel or weld or I love going to drag races, because people are so stuck on that form of normalcy. To me, normalcy just needs to go die in a fiery pit, because what is normal? What is normal for the spider is calamity for the fly. But if you think about it, we're all a little weird. People have an image of what disability is supposed to look like. But what is that image? Is it someone just sitting around all day in sweats? Or is it this girl going out dressed out like something out of the 40s? Society thinks that they have to have control over everyone, so that way it can be cohesive. But to me, chaos is beautiful because it proves that everyone is an individual. But when you match all the same people together, they just blend into the background, effectively disappearing. There's these unwritten rules of how you should treat people, like the golden rule. But there's also the complete opposite that's ingrained to everyone's brains that says, oh, they're disabled, they wouldn't want to do anything fun. That is not true. And the people that accept people with disabilities with open arms are deemed angels or saints, when in reality they just have human decency. Everyone's just defined by one thing that society deems they're worth labeling. But if there's one thing I've learned growing up with a disability, is that labels mean nothing, and in reality you will start to make people mad just by being yourself. And I thrive on that. I laugh at it because I'm so confident of who I am that the negative just is another step up. So what would you do?